right, disagreements given priority, but yes, anyone? Yes, yes, sir. Yeah.
So,
Hey, a war contractor.
oh yeah, I know. I don't agree with them. But okay.
I won't give you a hard time.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for coming to Salt Lake, Charlie. I'm a Christian. And so I kind of find it weird. Like, I don't know. Cause you kind of express support for like. Oh, hey.
Guys, let him talk, please. Yeah.
You like express like support for like Trump. But like,
correct.
Okay, so like, I mean, I was just thinking like when you were talking about like all those cases he was in, I don't see him as looking like a very moral guy. As a Christian, I don't know if I should back him. So what's your feelings?
So when you vote.
Welcome back. It's a new day. We thank the good Lord. It's a new day. Thank God, and it's a new day. So good to see you. It's me, WJ, on our channel, One Life, Many Seasons. Here we got something good. Charlie Kirk. And you know every Charlie Kirk time, it's going to be good. Over here, he's debating a college student, and he does that a lot. And I really enjoy watching the next generation, what they're learning, what their understanding of what is going on is. Is it all about what they've been told? Or are they doing their research? And I think Charlie actually really challenges them. And I like to watch this debate. This particular one, they're trying to determine whose country is better. Is it Trump's country or Biden's country? I have my own thoughts, but I like to hear what they both have to say. And you please put your comments in the comment section below. And let's just see what's going on here. Let's see.
I'm curious. It's not a sarcasm. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Do you vote for people or for policies?
I like to consider both.
Okay, that's fair enough. Which one would matter?
I vote policy. I think when people say that sometimes it's because they're not sure. They're not really sure what they want to say. They don't know. They're kind of treading on eggshells. I want to be right. I don't want to offend anybody. I think that's what he's trying to do there.
Matter more.
I think policies matter more.
Okay. But then that's the answer to my question.
No, but
there you go.
I don't think I think their policies are pretty similar. When you
why was he doing I you see what I mean? He was trying so hard not to offend anybody, and because of that, I think he was just a little bit shaky there. He basically said what Charlie was saying. Policy. Most people, most smart people, most real people will vote on policy, not the people. I mean, we have the exception to the rule every time, but you know what I'm saying. He basically answered the question, ultimately.
You break it down, like I think their border, like you talk about people coming across the border, but like it looks like their actual policies on how they're handling the border and how they're sending out like enforcement is very similar to Trump and Biden.
That's not true.
And I think they're both just trying to keep up the economy of Obama. Like Trump didn't really do anything new for the economy, and Biden's just trying to bring it back to where it was. So I don't think they're
okay.
Totally different border policies. We all can see it. So
on the border, do you know about remain in Mexico? Do you know about any of those? Or
vaguely, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
we have that policy now. Now we don't. Yeah.
Yes, the numbers, the border crossings were down to record lows. Mm-hmm. Now they're to 10 to 15,000 a day. So you can't possibly say they're the same.
Sure.
So Tom Homan, who was Barack Obama's border chief, 30 years in the position, said Donald Trump was the best on the border of any president he ever served under. Right. So you can't compare those two. On the economy, everyone would here agree the economy was better under Donald Trump than Joe Biden. Everyone would agree. They would say,
bingo. Yes, it was better. We all can see that. Let me look at you and tell me if you disagree with that. Let us know and tell us what was better economically under Biden than Trump's. We like to know. If you think Biden's economy is better than Trump's, let us know. And I think they coined a new I didn't hear that for a while, but I've been hearing about Bidenomics. And lately I just heard about Maganomics, I think it said. There's Bidenomics and there's Maganomics. That's an interesting. That is crazy.
Say that higher wages, prices were more affordable, the economy was more stable, period.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
On wars, how many new wars started under Donald Trump?
None.
How many under Joe Biden?
I forget.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to even count. I mean, you have Gaza, Israel, Iran, you have Ukraine, Russia, you have Yemen against Saudi Arabia. Under Donald Trump, no new wars, period, globally, across the planet. It's never happened before in 30, 40 years, so you can't equate the two. So as a Christian, blessed are the peacemakers. Trump is a peacemaker, right?
Like, did he make any peace?
Oh, yeah. You know the Israel peace deal that he signed between the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, and Israel? Do you remember that? He signed the Abraham Accords, which was the greatest peace deal of Israel in the modern lifetime. Donald Trump prevented Vladimir Putin from invading Ukraine.
How so?
Well, he didn't invade Ukraine, but
Sure.
the way he did that is he met with them in Helsinki under great opposition and condemnation and said, I want diplomacy, not war with Russia, and it was the right move for the Western world, period. And Vladimir Putin did not move an inch into Ukraine. You know where he did move an inch into Ukraine? Under Obama, he annexed Crimea. Under Joe Biden, he invaded Ukraine. Not under Trump. He wouldn't dare. You know why?
Right.
He also feared Trump. Because Trump sat next to Putin, and he said, he said, oh, the photographers are here to take a picture. Oh, by the way, those are really nice gold things you have on the Kremlin. It'd be a shame if someone melted them. Let's pose for a picture. True story. Vladimir Putin tells it. Donald Trump threatened bombing the Kremlin if Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine. He was so crazy that Putin basically believed him. But the point is in the reality, right? The reality is we had less people invading our country. There were less wars abroad. The economy was better. The country was more stable. It's as factual as one can get.
But what?
So just for that alone, where we are, what do you think so far? Whose country was better? I think from both sides we can see from all the discussions they've had. For me so far, Trump's economy, Trump's country was better. Trump's country was better so far. If we have to go by just this debate that we're watching and listening to between Charlie and this bright student, because he's bright, we can tell he's probably misinformed, ill-informed, and misinformed.
Why? I'm not convinced that like any of the economy stuff had much to do with like the presidential like policy differences. It really looks more like if you look at like corporate profits going up, it looks like just corporate greed like going out of control after COVID.
So the blue collar workers, we saw a blue collar boom under Donald Trump. Working class people saw the greatest rise to their wages in 20 years under Donald Trump. Electricians, welders, plumbers. You can fact check me on it. Just Google blue collar boom, Donald Trump. But on one issue that everyone should vote for.
What did he do to do that? Like how did Trump make that?
Well,
happen?
he did a tax cut for working men and women. He deregulated the economy,
That's
and
correct.
he restricted the labor supply by bringing in less foreign labor, which therefore raises wages for working men and women in this country.
Okay, but so like you talked about foreign labor as well. So
Correct.
so like wouldn't it be a better solution to like to just like legalize like the labor of like even like illegal immigrants and just make sure like they have to get paid as much so that they can't be exploited?
No.
Why is that?
Well, send them back to their country of origin if they're here illegally.
But what if they're like a refugee?
Well, if they're do they claim asylum correctly? What are they a refugee from? A poor country or actual war?
Well, I mean like there's
a refugee. The asylum is being abused like you wouldn't. People are saying, "Oh, I'm claiming asylum from Mexico. Why? Because of cartel violence." Like, okay, can I claim asylum from Chicago because of gang violence? I mean, we're equally as dangerous of a country as Mexico.
You can tell that kid is not. I think he's not getting the right information, and I think that's what's been happening a lot. The facts are not being presented accurately to people, so people are getting bits and pieces of information because he doesn't even understand what's going on the border. He doesn't know who's coming. He doesn't know why they're coming. He doesn't know how to come in. He just thinks, oh, let's just help them. But the problem with that is people coming in illegally and taking what rightfully belongs to Americans. And that's where the problem is. It's not that America doesn't want people to come in, just come in legally. And you can tell he's a little confused. The student is a little confused. He's not really sure how the whole process. He just thinks, oh, let's just let them come in. But that's not the case.
Mexico now, in our inner cities. So we're not exactly one to like give people asylum.
I'm not convinced that that's true.
In downtown Chicago, downtown Baltimore.
Okay, well, you can just move out of Baltimore.
But why? Why should people just move out of their place because some other people that are there illegally are trying to claim their spot? No, that's not how things work. Would you just leave your house because somebody is taking it over? That's not the right way to do things. You have to correct the problem, because if you don't stop the problem today, it only gets worse. It could start from one state. Before you know it, another state is affected and impacted. And before you know it, it becomes a ripple effect. That's what this kid doesn't understand. If you don't stop the problem right away, it gets worse and it gets bigger. Up until the point, you then, by his policy, by his analysis, this kid, before you know it, the plan will be to find another country to go to. And that's not what we want. We can't have our country taken over.
You can just go to a different part of the country.
I agree, but you would get shouted down by a lot of inner city blacks that say that, you know, they don't have the capital or the resources to leave Baltimore or Chicago, right? And that's where they live. Telling people to leave their home is like a really cruel thing to say.
Yes,
that's it.
But yeah. Secondly, yes, I think that even if you gain the refugee status, you should go home. Yes. But what are they claiming refugee asylum from?
I don't know. I just remember I'm not super familiar. I just remember like a few years ago, Honduras was pretty bad, and so people were coming up here, and then they were like getting rejected at the border.
Yeah, I mean, go back to your country and fix it. We have huge problems in this country.
Absolutely.
But it's like international law to accept like asylum seekers.
Okay, you don't have to follow international law. We have American law. If international law tells you have to bring in 1 million foreigners, we don't have to follow international law.
Bingo.
American law supersedes international law.
Absolutely.
But what are we losing by bringing more people in?
Well, first of all, wages go down, our social services get overflowed, crime goes up, and you lose.
Did he just ask that question? What do we lose by bringing more people in? I think they really need to break this down and just really make it come sit home. Probably ask him, how many people do you have in your family? Your dad, your mom, your siblings. You know, there's a budget for that. So let's make it make sense to him. There's a budget for the family. And all of a sudden, you got to accumulate 10 other people. So whatever you were eating before, you've got to streamline that. Whatever allowance you used to get before, now it's got to streamline that. Whatever vacations you used to go before, you got to streamline that. So maybe that would make sense. Let it hit home. Because I think he's just thinking from a broader perspective. But the reality is, it trickles down to the home, and that's what we're seeing. That's what we're seeing. So I think they need to bring it down to that level, then it will make more sense.
You lose a social, you lose a common American identity, and that's not a racial thing. You lose when you bring in millions of people that don't share the same American story and they all speak different languages, you're a nation of strangers. You need time for assimilation, and we don't have that. More people speak Spanish than English in the state of California.
So do you think we should I think we should have more people learn Spanish because being bilingual is good mentally. I'm pretty sure there's not much evidence that like crime actually goes up and social services are being used a lot by like illegal immigrants.
Have you seen what's going on in New York? They're literally overrunning schools because they don't have the social services to fit all the illegals that are coming into the country. They're overrunning school districts, overrunning hospitals. I'm happy to. You should go down to the border and see it for yourself. It is a mass invasion of 10,000 people a day. And so, but here's the question is, what should our immigration policy be? Number one, a government exists to represent its citizens. It does not exist to solve the problems of foreigners. That's nice once you solve your own problems. And so you must put your own people first. And right now, our people are being spit on, ignored, and not prioritized, especially young people in this country. It is harder than ever for you guys to own homes, harder than ever for you to get well-paying jobs, harder than ever for you guys to build a family. And we have to be lectured that we have to go bring in all the problems in the third world. No, we should close the doors and say, you're welcome into this country if and when we solve our problems here domestically.
Okay, what policy do you support to make it easier for young people to buy homes?
Get rid of BlackRock purchasing a bunch of homes and renting them back to us.
Okay, so like seize their assets?
Not seize their assets. Make it illegal that asset managers over $500 billion can't buy single-family homes.
Okay, I really agree with that. That's actually that's great.
Thank you. Yeah. It's a super simple policy fix. If you have assets under management over 500 billion or 100 billion, you should not be in the single-family home business. Period.
Okay.
And that's artificially boosting housing prices across the country. I believe homeownership is a moral good for all humans.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, what do you think? I just think the kid, as like many others, our campuses today, are not really aware of what's going on. Either they've not been told or they're not doing their research. Because clearly, you can see, he doesn't really understand what's going on. And either been fed the wrong news or fragments of the news. So he doesn't have an exact picture of what's going on. But going back to the debate, let us know. What do you think? Whose country is better so far? And I'm actually very thankful that we got to see 4 years of Trump and we got to see 4 years of Biden. Because had we not seen 4 years of Biden, we could only, estimate, or we just come up with all types of what we think would have happened had Biden ruled or became the president. But I'm glad we got a chance to see both, and we can really compare and contrast both of them. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, with all the debates, from what I know, from my research, from practical life, Trump's country is better. Trump's country is better. Economy-wise, safety-wise, border-wise, and everything else wise. Thanks for stopping by. Let us know what you think. Please put it in the comment section below. Let's have the discussion. This is our country. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Support Charlie Kirk wherever you see his materials. Bright man. I love to listen to his videos and react to them too as well. I'll be coming back with more pieces, more of Charlie Kirk. So stay tuned. If you've been part of the family already, thank you for your support. We'd just like to close this out and say we're doing this to spread positivity into this chaotic world. Me, you, us, doing it together. And we like to remind ourselves that we always remember we got one life with many seasons. So let's make the best of it. God bless you, and I'll see you soon. You take care now. Bye-bye.